vapes.
Taser, I think.
But neither
Stand still.
do the cops. Battling on the front line
Taser! Taser!
are Nottinghamshire's finest.
Stand by for impact.
Highly trained pursuit drivers, specialists in entry and search,
4 ounces of cannabis.
rapid response firearms officers,
On police! Show yourself down!
Police, will you stop!
and the crime-stopping force
Look for your arm!
of the dog unit.
Get down on the floor!
Wherever the battle takes them, they'll never back down.
Taser!
Because come at the hour,
Yeah, Pats, we've still got him. Up on the back wheel, offside of the road.
come at the Interceptors.
Where are you from? Leeds. Don't come to Nottingham again, will you?
Coming up,
Just enforce it.
a suspected drug dealer gets a wake-up call from the Op-Reacher team.
Please, stay where you are!
Go!
Also finds something to sink his teeth into.
Boom!
And how to stop a 10-ton lorry.
Have I got your authority to put preemptive rolling road?
Thank you for coming in extra early. The idea was that we'd try and hit the door by about 7:30, 7:45.
Sgt Mike Taylor of the Op-Reacher team, a proactive initiative set up to smash the county's crime networks, is planning a raid on an address in Newark.
We've been in the morning, and the kind of the numbers that are hovering around and going to that address tend to be about 8:30 up until about midday. So hence the reason wanting to get in there early, putting our eggs in the basket that she's going to have stuff in the morning. Is everybody else all right with the plan? Everybody clear on what we're doing?
Crystal, let's roll.
So forward, just drop it behind the big van, and then we'll start rolling towards the event.
The Op-Reacher team has already taken millions of pounds worth of drugs off the streets of Notts, but they're always hungry to seize more.
If everyone remembers, just switch body warns on before you get out of the vehicles.
Intel suggests the side gate to access the property will be open, but they're fully tooled up in case it's not.
No, this will do perfect. Just bring the van, yeah, bring the van in there. It's only down there, isn't it?
Let's go then.
Catching the suspected dealers by surprise is key.
That's the address, isn't it?
But best laid plans and all that,
He just needs to get hold of him.
someone's left the property and legged it.
Get hold of that lad.
Improvising to peel off for the runner, the rest approach the side gate as planned.
Shit.
Another problem.
Pot croppers.
Their intel was off and the side gate is padlocked.
Just enforce it.
Use enforcing.
And it sounds like someone's home. Bang goes the element of surprise. They need to get in pronto. Every second counts.
Please, stay where you are!
It's vital they get hands on the suspects before they have a chance to dispose of potential drugs.
Stay where you are!
Definitely, I'm not going nowhere, mate.
Nope.
What's your name, pal? Give your hands. Give your hands.
Give me your hands!
Made to measure, mate.
Don't put them that tight then, mate. I'm not resisting or anything.
I'm not saying you are.
They move to secure anyone else. But apart from the dog,
Oh, what's all this noise in your address this morning? You brave boy. Good boy.
there's no one else in the house. But Interceptor Poppy has found someone in the garden.
What's this? She's put a jumper on.
No, I'm just hanging out the way washing.
Despite around 10 coppers at the property, she seems more interested in household chores.
Listen to what I'm about to say. We've got a search
want to do a dress. Yeah, so at this moment in time, you can't. Yeah, pop them down if you like. But yes, but listen, while we're here, you can't just wander about doing what you like.
No.
Can't be.
I just want to put my socks on.
Come and sit here a minute. That's it. Sit there. That's it. We don't want you wandering around. That's the idea. We've got to search you. We've got to search the address.
It's been a successful entry, although not without a few surprises.
You can plan it as detailed as you like. There's always things that throw you out on the day. We weren't expecting someone to walk away from the address, so we quickly sent two after him. We weren't expecting the gate to be padlocked as it was, and with the padlock inaccessible by the bolt officers we had brought with us, we did have the saw though, which enabled us to get in. So, yeah, successful. We got in. We got persons detained. The search will also determine whether the warrant's successful.
The guy who legged it from the building didn't get far.
Right, are we done? No, not yet.
The next stage is to search the property and the female suspect.
Anything you shouldn't have that's going to hurt me or you. No, don't just put your arms out for me. Just face my colleague that way. That's it. You got something in there? Down there. Oh, no, let's put that on there. Look.
She's clean,
Gonna make sure nothing in your waistband, all right, dude?
and so is the guy in cuffs upstairs.
Follow me downstairs.
The team's giving the house a thorough search, but so far they've drawn a blank. However, officers outside
You have a look over there.
clock something in the neighbour's garden, and it's not the gnomes.
What have we got? No, this will do perfect. Just swing a van. Yeah, stick a van in there.
The op-reacher team, led by Sgt Mike Taylor, is raiding a house of a suspected Class A dealer in Newark.
Just enforce it.
They've made short work of a padlocked gate,
Please, stay where you are!
nicked one suspect in the house,
Stay where you are!
Definitely, I'm not going somewhere, mate.
and another in the garden.
I'm just hanging out the way washing.
Okay. Well, the house, like the washing, is clean.
You guys told me you jumped out, dude, now.
Though a peek over the fence
You have a look over there.
reveals something sus in the neighbour's garden.
What have we got?
So 1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
3 bags containing what looks like heroin.
That's exactly what we're looking for. That's Class A drugs. Very likely belongs next door. So the working hypothesis, they've been thrown over from here when they've heard police come down. We've obviously been stored at the gate, got that walking away. They do have CCTV in the property as well. So they would have had a little bit of notice. The occupant was in the garden hanging up the washing when we came out. So that may have been a ruse. That may have been to explain why she was in the garden. Clearly, the alternative hypothesis is come over, thrown that into the next floor garden, and then when we've come in, she was stood by the washing line.
The drugs are photographed before Poppy gives them the once-over.
One of the bags is a plastic wrap filled with little individual bags of small bags of brown powder, which will be tested, but it's most likely going to be something like heroin. They're all wrapped up into individual wraps. We've then got 2 others. One is a bag of similar brown powder, and another which is a solid block, which will most likely be ground up into the powder, which they'll then use into the individual bags to wrap and then sell them on as separate little deals.
There's over 20 wraps ready to go, as well as 2 other bags of suspected Class A's. This is a significant amount of drugs that the cops have taken off the streets.
That's a reasonable amount of cash in it.
It's got a couple of burner phones, Poppy.
Safe address on suspicion of possession of intent to supply Class A drug. You don't have to say anything, but may or may not mention when questioned subject to any court, and if you say maybe no. Do you understand?
The pair have earned a trip to Mansfield Nick,
There you go, mate. Jump lots on.
which one of them isn't thrilled about.
Stop dragging me.
I'm not dragging you.
Get off of me.
I'm walking.
Get off me. Get.
Come on. Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step. Stand up.
Ow.
Come on. Up we jump. That's it.
There you go.
Chalk up another productive op for Mike and the Reacher team.
From our point of view, it's been a very successful day. We've arrested 2 individuals, we've recovered evidence of drug dealing, and we'll see what they've got to say about it later.
The couple are currently under investigation for possession with intent to supply drugs. No further action was taken with respect to the bloke initially arrested outside the property. Intel is an important tool in the Interceptors' arsenal to stop criminality in its tracks. But they know that sometimes the details aren't always on the money.
The intelligence can come from a variety of sources and there can be varying degrees of truthfulness to it. And a lot of the time the intelligence we get is bang on 100% accurate. But it's funny because you may end up stopping a car, say for example because there's intelligence that the driver is dealing drugs. And it may turn out that he's not dealing drugs. But once you've searched him, you do find that he is a cannabis user or whatever, and he's not got a licence. And it's funny how one piece of intelligence can often lead to a result, which is not the result you were actually looking for. I'll back it up, mate.
That's it, at least I can get out of it.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Tonight, Gab and Dan from the Roads Crime Team are staking out a stretch of the A617 between Newark and Mansfield.
We've had some information received that there's a vehicle that's travelled over to the Lincolnshire area from our force area to collect a supply of Class A drugs, and it's had a short stay there and it's on its way back, and we're set up with a Stinger ready and a number of tactical vehicles ready to box the vehicle and prevent any sort of pursuit from taking place.
There are 6 units on the job, including colleagues from Mansfield's knife crime team.
I think this suggests you might go round the top of Lincoln and back down to 46, doesn't it, towards Newark, rather than the A17.
The suspect motor is a Golf, and its movements are currently being closely monitored on the ANPR network.
Where is he now then? There, right.
It looks like he's taking a slightly different route to the one cops expected, throwing the whole operation into jeopardy.
Is it his lucky day? Or is it the police's lucky day, Gav?
Yeah. We'll find out.
Moments later, there's an update.
Just pinged again. 846.
Oh, which way is it going to go?
The Golf's now just north of Newark and thankfully heading their way.
Oh, may the force be with you.
Which means it's time for Dan to hit the road.
The plan is, we've identified a Stinger site, so I'm going to deploy Stinger. The vehicle will get stung, the marked cars will move out and take up a position behind the subject vehicle. Hopefully it will just stop. If it continues to try and drive, Mac is ahead of it in another vehicle, so that's the plan.
While Dan heads to his Stinger site, further up the road are officers from the knife crime team.
Can't see.
Making their way through the dark are Mozza, Charlotte, Kingo, and their little friend.
What are you thinking with it, sticking it over there on the drop curb and then obviously pulling it this way?
Just like Dan, Mozza's got a Stinger and he's not afraid to use it.
So it needs to be that angle, doesn't it?
Intel says there could be drugs in the car, so the cops are keeping all bases covered.
There's another Stinger set up further down the road, so chances are he should get stung by them. If he's not stung, for whatever reason, they'll let us know, and when it comes around this corner, we'll hopefully sting it.
Kingo makes it sound simple, but slinging strips of razor-sharp spikes across a public highway is not without risks. You've got to be 100% sure you're targeting the right motor.
Subject vehicle is taking 617.
It's coming this way.
Word comes in that the Golf is now less than half a mile down the road.
Yeah, it's going this way.
At the first strike spot, Dan lies in wait. But there's a problem.
Sting not successful, not successful.
Unsure if the approaching vehicle was the target Golf, Dan decided not to deploy. Fortunately, at the second Stinger site...
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mozza can rely on the eagle eyes of Charlotte as lookouts.
Go, go, go. Go, 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 go.
Boom! Oh.
As the Golf flies by, Mozza times his sting to perfection. But as the Sarge follows in the marked car, there's collateral damage. Not to worry, Mozza. There's a further 5 units on the scene. And they're now hunting down a wounded animal. A mismatch of a pursuit that lasts all of 30 seconds.
Yeah, we have the vehicle stopped. Occupants out, no contact, no damage.
Apart from the holes in the Sarge's tyres, it's a case of so far so good. But there's one question on everybody's lips.
Right, have you got any drugs on you?
Not on 8, there's not. You're going to get strip searched. The car's going to get taken to bits. So let's just get it clear.
Yeah, there might be something in the car.
Where?
I don't know.
Okay.
The passenger has helpfully told cops there could be some drugs in the car. So while he and the driver are frisked,
Come stand over here, come take a seat in our car, Dole.
Mozza takes the female passenger off for a quiet chat.
What happens if there is stuff found? Do I get arrested
Yeah.
as well?
Because you're in the car. Everyone, if there's stuff found in that vehicle, everyone will be getting arrested. All right?
She'll be getting searched by a female officer. Meanwhile, the team has a sweep of the Golf.
We found about 10 pence worth of cannabis. It's clearly not what we're interested in. We're looking for something bigger.
Right, I'm going to require a sample of saliva for a drug swipe. Failure to provide a sample, if it proves to be positive, you may be arrested, okay?
Dan might have fallen short tonight with the Stinger,
Steve, top that, pal. Cheers, mate.
but he's hitting the mark with that drug wipe.
Right, I'll come back in a couple of minutes, my mate.
Results take 8 minutes.
I've done the driver's side, I've not done the passenger side yet.
We'll search the car, we'll check the obvious places, like literally anywhere that you would chuck some drugs or anything for that matter. Glove box, door pockets, centre console. There's nothing there, so we've took the car to bits the best we can, removing sort of components from it, looking in places where people commonly hide drugs. Nothing found, so what that's telling me is that there's probably concealed some drugs on their person. So I think we'll get more strip search and we'll know. Yeah.
The driver's drug wipe
It's all good.
turns out to be negative.
Don't we think that it could have concealed then?
So attention turns to his pockets and pants.
Listen, undo my belt, drop my jeans, I've got long johns on underneath. That's probably what the bagginess is, you can feel. Undo the belt, drop the jeans.
Just give us a minute, mate.
Listen, I'm not bothered. I've got nothing to hide. I told you I'm disqualified, I've got nothing to hide.
Just like his motor,
Okay, mate, thank you. You happy with that?
Yeah?
the man appears to be clean. As are the passengers. But something about their stories is ringing alarm bells with Gav.
The lad in Neil's car reckons that he's been in Skeggy for 2-3 days, stuck there. She's saying that, like the other lads, saying that they've gone down there for, an hour to smoke a spliff on the beach in the dark.
They've given differing accounts of their trip to the seaside.
But it don't add up, does it?
Yeah.
You don't go all the way to Skeggy to smoke a spliff. Who does? In the dark.
But feeding a fishy story to the cops isn't enough to get you nicked, so the two passengers are free to go. And the driver, who's admitted to being disqualified, is off to the nick.
It wasn't appropriate to sting. Just couldn't get a full proper ID on the car.
It's funny because I had words, because when you said Stinger unsuccessful, I'd assumed that you'd attempted.
No, never deployed.
But yeah,
You've got to be sure that it's the car, otherwise we would have had a member of the public stung in the middle of a tactic, wouldn't
yeah,
we?
of course.
It's a vehicle which needed to be taken off the road because it's been driven by somebody who's disqualified and has got no insurance, but probably not the big win we were expecting.
No action was taken with regard to the small amount of cannabis found in the car. However, the driver pleaded guilty to driving whilst disqualified and without insurance and received a 19-month driving ban.
Didn't really develop, did it, really, how we were expecting it? No.
Still to come.
And how long have you been driving around in it? Today. Just today.
John helps out a bloke who's lost his memory.
Wait, to be fair, you've been driving around this the last couple of days, haven't you?
Well, what's riding yesterday?
Yeah.
And a suspected driver
Well, you passed that anyway.
passes one test,
Have you had any drugs in the last 24 hours?
Yeah.
but will he pass the other?
No offence for treatment.
No.
Emergency, what's the emergency?
Well, I need to speak to someone in regards to a car that was actually taken from me on Sunday. So I had the car from Friday the 9th to the 11th, and I came in the equipment car park. But before I even was able to do so, I got jumped by two people.
So the two people that jumped you took your car as well?
Yeah, that's right.
If you're attacked and have your hire car stolen, it's a bit strange to wait 2 days to call the cops. But Paul and Toby are on the case.
We're going to have a look for it. He's not returned it as a rental and told the rental company it's been stolen, which they've then prompted him to ring us, so it seems a bit odd.
Odder still is the car's been driven around for the last 2 days, leaving a trail of ANPR breadcrumbs.
I mean, since it's allegedly been stolen, it must have pinged 80 times.
Paul's a big fan of detective fiction, and he thinks he's got the case of the stolen hire car all worked out.
Even if he still says it's stolen, he's going to be in it. I just can't see it. I can't see why they'd steal a car and then just drive around it. Like I say, at least 80 times it's pinged cameras since it's been stolen by force. It's just not a thing, is it?
Convinced the driver will be the caller, they use their loaf and follow the breadcrumbs.
We're just going into, like, the Grindon Crescent estate.
And soon make a possible sighting.
Some lights down there. Parked up. That's it.
We are coming up to a, looks like a red Astra with its lights on Aston Drive. Yeah, this is the one.
Just going to go in front of it then, mate.
There seem to be 3 people in the car.
See what else is showing us.
And Paul's keen they stick around to answer his questions.
Knock engine up, mate. Have the key just to make sure you're not going to drive off from the police.
No, what for? I'm driving, man.
There are 2 girls and a bloke with a tinny in hand in the driver's seat.
Just jump out for me, mate.
Oh, what's the problem, officer?
The car's reported stolen.
What, this?
Yeah. So at the minute...
Not stolen, is it?
Yeah, at the minute. Just look at me. Just put that down.
Well, let me have a drink. How many sat in here?
Right. At the minute, you're under arrest on suspicion of theft of a motor vehicle, so you don't have to say anything. But it may only defence if you don't mention questions which later lie in court. Give me your other hand. Anything? No.
Look, I don't even know
You're
if he's
under
stolen
arrest,
or
aren't
not.
you? Put the hand down.
I haven't done it, man.
Right. Don't start messing about.
The man turns out to be the stepfather of one of the girls, but he denies any knowledge that the car was stolen.
Yeah, but what for? I ain't done
I
it.
just told you, haven't I? You're
I
under
haven't.
arrest
I haven't sat in it talking to my daughter.
Oh, brilliant. We'll get to the bottom of that at the minute. You're under arrest on suspicion of theft, is it?
No, well, I didn't even notice this. I'm sat in the car talking to my daughter. I was
Sat in the
like,
car with the key
Yeah.
in the ignition. So
Yeah.
that'll do for me. Thanks very much.
I haven't, you know.
Paul's got a description of the person who originally reported the stolen hire car, and it's not this bloke.
So he's definitely not the man who hired it. Eating my words a bit, aren't I? Because I didn't think it was going to be stolen, but he's definitely not the man who's hired it. But he's obviously in possession of it at the minute, so how he's come to acquire it, I don't know. But we'll get to the bottom of that.
There's also another issue.
How much you had to drink as well?
I've had a few beers.
Oh, okay, we'll
I haven't
breathalyse you in a
tried
minute
it.
as well. Well, you sat in the car with the key in the ignition.
What's there's no a law
So
about that?
yeah, there is. You can be
If I
drunk
do
in.
the things, I won't be sitting in it.
You can be drunk in charge as well, can't you? So.
Really?
Even if he hasn't driven the car, he can still be nicked for being drunk in charge of a vehicle.
I'm just going to search you, alright?
Couldn't let me finish my drink, man. I ain't been driving.
I can't because I need to breathalyse you, don't I?
The man decides to have a father-daughter heart-to-heart.
What's going on?
You tell me what's going on.
You caused it then. Well, you said it was hired, man. I just sat in the car talking to you.
Why are you asking me?
What am I getting blamed for this then?
Right.
Hey, believe this. Somebody better start talking.
What are you on about?
Talk,
Don't you dare
that's
try
what
to
you always
deceive
do.
me.
We've told you to stop shouting.
You're the one that's driving the car, not me.
As the blame game continues,
Stitching me up.
You come to pick us up, not us. Yeah? So there you go.
I ain't getting stitched up for this.
Paul breaks out the breathalyzer.
I suspect you might have been drunk in charge of the car, right? So it gives me a power to request a specimen of breath for you. Failure to provide it or refusal is an offence in itself which you can be arrested for, okay? Are you happy to provide me with a specimen of breath? Yeah, brilliant. Tight seal around it, nice steady blow. I'll tell you when to stop. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing. That's it, nice one.
Given he had a tinny in his hand, the result...
Well, you've passed that anyway.
...is a surprise. But he's not off the hook yet.
Do you use drugs at all?
Yeah, I use drugs like that, yeah.
Okay, we'll do a drug wipe with you as well then.
I've been using, yeah, but I don't nick cars.
How they all ended up in a reportedly stolen motor appears to be a mystery.
Whose car's this?
I don't know. I don't know. He's picked us up in it.
Whatever the truth, he's going to have a drug swipe.
Have you had any drugs in the last 24 hours?
Yeah.
What have you had?
Okay.
Okay, alright. Have you consumed anything in the last 10 minutes?
No. What do I do?
Stick your tongue out and I'll rub this on it.
Huh? Can I finish my drink then?
No, because you're under arrest.
I've done it, man.
Toby searches the girls and spots something on the floor.
What was that you just chucked there?
You didn't chuck anything.
Yeah, you did. We're going to have to take you into the station now. We've found some on you. You've just chucked some more there. I've just
personal, bro.
I've just watched you.
It's
Just be honest with us. Have you got
I
any
haven't
more?
got nothing else. That's it. Personal. Bit of white, bit of dark.
Alright, the minute you're under arrest on suspicion of possession of Class A,
Please
you don't have to
do.
say anything, but may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned, something later on in court. Anything you do say.
They found a small quantity of heroin. And it looks like trouble runs in this family.
It's showing cocaine on me.
Paul delivers the good news.
Hello, mate. I've just got to tell you, you're further arrested again for being in charge of a motor vehicle while over the prescribed
I only said it to talk to me, step
limit of drugs. It's in charge of a motor vehicle. I didn't say you were driving it. I said you were in charge of it while they prescribed limit of drugs. So you still didn't have to say anything in my own defence if you don't mention my questions. Some commission later on court. Anything you do say.
All you got to do is ask them, they'll tell you.
Bro, thank you.
Both suspects are off for further questioning, and Paul's eating some humble pie.
You know, next time I say that's not going to be stolen. Someone shut up.
I was going to say, told you so.
For being in charge of a motor vehicle whilst unfit through drugs and driving without insurance, the driver pleaded guilty and awaits his sentence. His stepdaughter was charged with possession of heroin and a blade later found in her handbag. The other female was not arrested. No action was taken against anyone regarding the alleged theft of the vehicle, and the car was returned to the hire company.
It's a decent little resort. Stolen car off the street. Somebody who clearly isn't fit to drive is no longer driving around in a car, and yeah, they'll get a night in the cells as a compensation for their behaviour.
Gets the subsequent offences as well that have come out of looking for a stolen vehicle.
Yeah, a couple of drug stuff as well. So yeah, you know, it works. It tidies a few loose ends up and gets a couple of people off the street for the night, I suppose.
It's not be stolen. Won't be a job.
Interceptors have all sorts of ways to stop runaway vehicles.
7-1, attempted box or slow down.
From T-packs
Box on, nice and tight. Box on.
making tactical contact to stingers.
Vehicle stung.
But when it comes to stopping a serious heavyweight, different tactics are required.
Pick up a minute. The unclaimed vehicle, M1 South, tip sharp, lane 150 mile an hour.
M1 South?
Yeah.
Ben Ben and Dan are heading west to the M1 to lend a hand to their neighbouring force.
Job's coming in from Derby, they're behind a cloned, I think it's going to be like a lorry or a van, LGV, southbound from Tip Shelf.
What do you reckon? Try and make it 27 or just go 26?
Derbyshire units are following a lorry suspected to be on cloned plates and its occupants possibly involved in a burglary. Either way, it needs stopping.
It's Tip Shelf, southbound at the moment, it's only doing 50. Just approaching junction 27.
Ben heads for the motorway.
So it's lane 1.
And joins the back of the stick with several units ahead.
That says Foxtrot 52 knots. We are on.
Dan's been on the force long enough to know what the occupants of the suspected cloned lorry could be up to.
Cloned lorries are often used in theft from other lorries at service stations, where the occupants will cut the side curtain of a lorry and steal the goods from within. I think this is one of those. As you can see, we've got 3 or 4 cars behind it to stop it shortly.
But stopping a tent on Arctic isn't like boxing in bad guys in hatchbacks. This is a colossal challenge.
The problem with these kind of vehicles is the sheer size of them. We can't just drop a conventional T-pack on it because it would just knock us out of the way and cause chaos. But on the flip side, it's not going to outrun us.
They have the option of a Stinger, but using the tyre shredder on a busy motorway isn't ideal. However, the team has an ace up its sleeve.
Have I got your old fire 50-foot preemptive rolling though? You absolutely have.
They're going to use a tactic known as the rolling roadblock.
What's going to happen is there's a car well up ahead. That's causing basically a traffic jam to bring it to slow it right down. And then I think a Stinger is going to be deployed to bring it to a complete stop.
I'm up against the 7 Trent works and I'd like to bring it to a stop. Yes, please. I believe we are approaching.
A unit a quarter of a mile in front slowly brings traffic to a standstill. And the team wait for the lorry to hit the jam.
Thank you, dog unit. Confirm you're aware that we're reaching forward. Yeah, monitored.
2 dog units are in attendance in case of runners.
We've got a complete stop up ahead. There's potentially 2 occupants in the vehicle. We're off to the back of the block now. Stand by.
The suspect lorry
Speed probably down to 15.
crawls to a standstill.
Stand by. So the vehicle stops. Stop down, please, stop down.
2 dogs have gone by, I'll do.
Faced with the dogs, the 2 occupants wisely give themselves up and are straight in cuffs.
I think
we're trying to climb into back. We had a look at that.
A quick look in the trailer
empty.
That's all right. It's on the way down, aren't we?
reveals nothing.
Good stuff.
But the 2 suspects are arrested on suspicion of burglary.
We've all jumped into the passenger seat. It says it's come to a stop. Well, we'll try and place one of them in the driver's seat. Really happy. Thefts like this, they're coming into six figures easily. A whole wagon full of products while the driver's sleeping. So big win tonight. Probably stopped quite a significant theft tonight by getting these off the road.
The suspects are currently under investigation. It couldn't be proven who was driving the vehicle. However, the cloned lorry was seized by the police. It was never collected and was sold at an auction.
Yeah, right, mate. We're jumping back in. Disappearing off the motorway.
Still to come.
You got everything you need?
2 minutes.
The longest 2 minutes of Nick's life.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 26 now, yeah, 26, no, 27, sorry. Just turned 27 literally in March.
Interceptors are used to people trying to pull a fast one.
You're not?
I am 96, 94, sorry.
But with the truth now at their fingertips,
Does that not look like? That's not him.
porcupines are not advised.
That's not you.
Illness is...
That's not you.
I think they are naive. to the information we have access to these days, the databases, the motor insurance database, PNC, and for that reason they will try and pull the wool over our eyes, thinking they can get away with it. Well, again, it does unravel with a bit of digging and bit of diligence on the computer with some of the databases.
There are many ways to attract a copper's attention.
What does that say, Skip?
Chucking a box into someone else's skip being one of them.
I don't think it is.
Or perhaps try driving off without a seatbelt.
Shall we have it?
And just to make sure...
Well, it's not got insurance, so we'll have them anyway. No MOT. And no bell.
John and Nick have seen enough.
999 activated.
Okay. Hello, mate. How you doing? All right?
Yeah.
Is it your car?
It's booked in for test. It's insured in my name, yeah.
It's not insured.
It's not. Should I put it on my insurance?
There's a couple of things I need to speak to you about. One, your seatbelt. You didn't have that on. Secondly, it's out of MOT. And thirdly, you've got no insurance.
I've got insurance if I can prove it.
Okay.
Ring them up now, but I thought I'd put my insurance on this.
The bloke phones his insurers.
I need a policy number or something like that, ideally. Okay.
Yeah, but insurance with your company, I've been called by the police. I thought I'd put the vehicle on insurance.
He claims to have a trader's policy that covers his van.
It's not only she's just said that she's put it on there. But I've got an open policy, I should have put it on there, so I should put it again.
At this moment in time, that's not insured in the policy.
It isn't, she'll put it on there, mate. I've never got around to put it on. I've found to do it.
Yeah.
To straighten things out...
Do you know how to quick word this officer for bring me to the insurance brokers, but sometimes I think your mates, hello, he's a police officer.
Yeah, we just want to get to the bottom of whether this vehicle was, prior to us stopping, whether it was on his insurance policy.
I thought it was, honest to God.
So as far as you're concerned, then he would be covered for insurance, even without it on his policy?
The bloke looks proper chuffed. As it turns out, his van is covered.
Yeah, that's fine then. That's not a problem.
But having no MOT could be.
Did you say you're on your way to a...
testing station and it would be only MOT.
It's not illegal to drive the vehicle as long as he's on his way to the MOT centre, which, surprise, surprise, he claims he was.
Where's the test book?
We only MOT down at North Road.
And at what time did it book for?
It's booked this afternoon.
He's sticking to his story. Time for a little digging.
How long ago then?
About 2 or 3 weeks.
I might choose your own pill.
Yeah, of course you can.
And how long have you been driving around in it?
Today.
Just today.
John's favourite superhero is He-Man, who uses his magic sword to conquer his enemies. But John's weapon of choice is the county's network of ANPR cameras. And they've clocked this bloke out driving.
Wait, to be fair, you've been driving around this the last couple of days, haven't you?
I have.
Well, yeah.
Well, what's riding yesterday, yeah.
And the day before.
It's all coming flooding back.
Right, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. OK, just to save each other time, the vehicle's being seized, OK? And you're going to get a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt, for expired MOT, and I'm going to report it to DVLA to take matters into their own hands in terms of prosecution for no tax.
OK.
OK, have you got the car keys? Okay.
Can I get the keys out of it?
Yeah.
The car's off to the pound.
So you do not have to say anything, but it may on be defence if you do not mention now something which you later on in court, and you do say maybe give it
it's not guilty, mate. I've done nothing wrong.
Okay.
Can I ask my mate to put some stuff in his garden across the road?
All that remains is for the bloke to take his dinner.
He's just going to put some stuff in his mate's front garden. Ah, right, fair enough.
And drop his other belongings in his friend's garden.
How much you taking from it?
4 batteries in there, good battery in there. So it's only 10 little trips, just across the road, mate. I'll reverse it if you want.
Well, we got all the stuff to do, mate. I'm not going to be waiting around all day. Can you not just put them on the side and get your mate to help you?
Doesn't look like it.
5 free slots, 50 quid, mate.
Sure you need a way to carry this flat.
I think half a ton of it.
Trip 2, only 8 more to go. But it's a chance for John and Nick to get to know the locals.
What are you guys doing for the rest of the day then? You're just knocking around here?
Knocking around, chilling.
Yes, why go anywhere when there's something as entertaining as a bloke unpacking his boot?
You got everything you need?
2 minutes.
Optimistic. Can you play anything by the police?
Have you got everything, sir?
At last, it's game over. Oh, hang on, extra time.
1 minute. I'm going to play for it. If I was...
It's almost as if this bloke doesn't think he'll see his car again.
Okay, thank you.
And when Nick drives it back to the station, he begins to see why.
Okay.
After a testing trip back, John's on hand to lend some support.
I thought you were an advanced driver.
No kind of driving can help this car. He's got no reverse. You hear it?
This is one dodgy motor the boys are glad to get off the road. For no MOT or seatbelt, the driver had to pay over £700. Boot van was also reported for no tax, and amazingly the car was later collected, although it hasn't been deemed roadworthy.
Catch more Police Interceptors new next Monday at 8. In what critics say is a phenomenal brand new series, we follow the remarkable work of surgeons in a matter of life or death Thursday at 9. And tonight, from organised crime to late night prowlers, police face danger after dark in Night Shift 999. New next.